Welcome back to the channel of truth, trust, and transparency, where I show you how to build, scale your portfolio and develop property without you having to spend thousands of dollars wasted on a buyer's agent. No fluff, BS, or gatekeeping, just what you need to hear. Today, in a quick video, I'm going to show you how to save thousands of dollars on your next purchase that you can thank me later for, that the banks probably don't want to let you to know. And that is because we are tackling one of the biggest frauds in the property industry. No, not buyer's agents. LMI, lender's mortgage insurance. Basically, this is a insurance policy the bank takes out on you when you have less than a 20% deposit, and the bank makes you pay your own insurance for them. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's a bit of a crock of shit. It's a waste of money. But here's how you can get around paying the absolute most. Now, $750,000 purchase price. Here is the unlock. Most people would come in and pay a 10% deposit. However, what I would recommend, and what you'll learn after today's video, is that you should probably pay a 12% deposit. Now, here's where people go wrong. They think that 20% deposit, you pay none, 15, 10, 5. Deposit and how much LMI you pay. People think that the LMI that you pay is calculated like this. In terms of 10% deposit, it's this amount. If it's a little bit more, it's this amount. That's not actually how it works. After 10%, it actually drops off a cliff to get to 20%. Most people don't know that, and I'll show you why. 10% deposit versus 12% deposit on a $750,000 purchase, meaning 75 grand deposit, meaning you pay about 30 grand stamps. I always say with stamp duty that is going to vary state to state. New South Wales, that will be lower. If it's Victoria, that could be upwards of 40 grand. So stamp duty will always vary state to state. I try to take a bit of an average. 24 grand, you pay about 24 grand LMI, and that will vary slightly bank to bank, but with a 10% deposit, 75 grand down, a $750,000 purchase, you pay about 24 grand. Legals, building and pest, and all your other stuff like your PEXA and bank establishment fees and all that kind of stuff will be about the same. Now, here's the thing. These costs in a property purchase won't change. They're almost fixed, They're almost fixed. However, if I pay a little bit more of the deposit, 12%, which is an extra 15 grand, what you actually don't see is that I save myself $11,000 in LMI. Now, why is this important? Because my total costs to purchase on a 12% deposit is $138,500. Here it's $134. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a good chance if you're listening to this out there and you're gonna buy it at this purchase price or similar, if you've got 134 saved, you can probably get 138 saved in the same amount of time period. It's an extra 4.5 grand. You can borrow from mum and dad, partner, or anything like that to get this over the line. But here's why it's important. Now, it's only a 4.5 grand difference between both of them, yeah? So you think, oh, what's the big catch? Well, here's the thing here. It's a 4.5 grand difference, but now majority of my money is going towards the deposit. It's 15 grand more of a deposit. We want to pay down as much of the deposit as possible. Stamp duty, LMI, and all those kinds of things aren't sort of refundable or any good to us. The idea is to pay as much off that principal amount in the deposit as possible. Why? Because it means we have a smaller loan, $675 versus $660. I have a $15,000 less on my mortgage, which means my monthly, my fortnightly repayments are smaller. It means I have smaller and less debt, and it means I'm closer to that 80% LVR. So when I get it revalued in time, the property increases, I can be quicker to withdraw equity. So, nutshell, if you can afford it, likely you can because there's not much difference between the two. Pay a 12% deposit because that pays more money off the principal amount and it has you paying less LMI to the bank. The bank wants you to just do a 10% deposit. Why? so that you pay them as much money as possible. LMI is a dog shit BS fee that you can't get a refund for. I'd rather pay a little bit more so I'm paying down the deposit, helps with my cash flow, means my mortgage is less. That, my friends, is the LMI 12% deposit hack to save you thousands of dollars on your next purchase. You are welcome, free, in under 10 minutes. As always, I'll see you tomorrow for the next one.